like it's nothing. Life's been a struggle, now it's time for us to start stunting. Been on the grind, rock for rock, I put the winter months in. You see the payoff, now I'm copping my day soft. I let the crib with myself like, man, I need some help. This ain't a threat, but if I'm starving, I'm bad for your health. Brick boy, love my style, bless your boy with the wealth. Look at the chain, look at the one, I'm so proud of. I splurge a little bit, it's right back to the kitchen. Pirate fish, no pickle jars, and the pencils whipping. One of my niggas, I'm just in the cut, watching and listen. Play my position till he's done, that's what my job gets. Southside niggas on the bill. Eastside niggas on the bill. Westside niggas on the bill. Northside niggas on the bill. Southside niggas on the bill. Eastside niggas on the bill. Westside niggas on the bill. Northside niggas on the bill.
Yo. Welcome to join the Braze. How you doing?
What up, bro? Hold on real quick. My volume, hold on.
Oh, look at bro Bradley about to die. I'm gonna keep playing this.
What's going down?
What's good? I've been a part of this, bro. Doing the conversation with Braze, you know what I'm saying? And talk shows, basically. You know what I mean? And what we do is we talk about a lot of stuff. A lot of people can't right now. To make it where we get on conversation and talk about things. So for the record, and state your name and where you.
Oh shit, my name OG Hab. You know, I'm from 22nd Livingston in Columbus, Ohio.
Straight like
hold
that.
Hold on real quick, bro, because my volume low, so I gotta connect you to this Bluetooth on my speaker in here real quick. So that way I can hear you. Plus I'm in this bar.
You had shots and slices, right? How you look?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you loud and clear, bro.
All right.
Okay, OG Half from the Deuces, man. So you grew up out in the hood. You grew up on.
Hold on a second. I got a customer. I gotta get my money, yo.
Get your money, listen, man.
What you want, baby?
Black velvet right here.
Black velvet?
Yep.
I got you coming right up. By the way, I'm local. Y'all already know where I'm at. She went to Black Velvet.
That's a gangster.
Y'all already know I bartend too.
Yeah. Multifaceted. They don't know the talents.
You got an earpiece speaker? You want it straight?
Yes, please.
A double or a shot?
Double.
All right.
Oh yeah, that Black Velvet.
Fuck it. While we live and we're on air with Braze Day, check this out. I'm a first shot on me.
Thank you.
If you pop up while I'm live on air with Braze Day.
Oh, like.
Turn your can you go to my page so I can hear his voice? So I won't have to keep putting this thing up to my phone on Instagram.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I hear you now.
You straight?
Oh, your shit don't work. Turn it down.
Turn it down.
Yeah, it's delayed. It's delayed delivery. What up, bro?
We're gonna make it work, bro. We're gonna make it work. Cause like the people need to hear from you, bro. They need to hear your story and everything you got going on. And plus, right now we're in a state of emergency in the neighborhoods in Columbus, Ohio, too. So they gotta hear real live OG gangster niggas like ourselves telling them what it really is supposed to be, bro.
Oh yeah, that's facts.
You know what I'm saying? So like, you know, I was asking you grew up on 22nd, right?
Oh yeah, I was born right off of Livingston, a little deeper down 22nd, near Dashner, but definitely originally from 22nd and Livingston.
Originators, bro. That even start? Like, how did that even come to Columbus?
As far as what?
Just like the gang banging, the Bloods movement, and all of that. Because back in the day, it was just like Crips and folks and shit.
Well, you know, on the South Side, we had gangs out here like the Freeze Crew, you know what I mean? Then they had gangs across the bridge, the Dozen Cousins, who they led more to wearing blue. So when I was growing up, you know what I mean, my mom used to ask me, like, what you want to be when you grow up? I'd be like, oh, I want to be the Joker or, you know, a lawyer or a community activist since my birthday is on January 15th, same as Martin Luther King. So she's like, what the fuck you mean you want to be the Joker? He's a criminal. You know what I mean? And I was like, I just like him. You feel me? I don't like Batman. You know what I'm saying? So, and that, you know, later as we talk, that's ironic that I chose that. But anyway, one day I was reading the newspaper, and you know, me and my friends, we had started hanging out, dipping off the, you know, we jumped up off the porch or whatever. And I was reading the newspaper, and they had the neighborhoods in there, and ours wasn't. You know what I mean? Like, damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, even though we wasn't nobody to be in there, at the time, I felt like, shit, all right, we're going to make this paper. One day we're going to make this paper. You feel me?
Right.
So my dude, he came to me. My nigga JT came to me and was like, shit, what's up? He had a red flag. I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? He like, shit, this what we going to be around here.
Okay.
I was like, all right, fuck it. Knowing that other niggas have their colors, the folks, the Crips, we ain't had no colors, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I said, fuck it. And me and my nigga, we locked in. I went through a process of learning what the Bloods really was about when it came to choosing that color. And like I walked up to him one day, I was like, man, some nigga pulled up on me, called me a slob. He was like, nigga, don't never say that shit again. You know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Like, that's a disrespectful term for Bloods. You know what I mean? Like, we don't use that. We don't let nobody say that to us. You know what I mean? And from that day forth, you know, that was my lifestyle. You know, I don't glorify that anymore. But that's definitely how the Bloods got started in '93 in Columbus, Ohio, which is the first original Blood set.
Damn, 1993. That's back when Top Authority was out. Things stay how they should be. Damn, so you was, you know, jumped out, started the Blood set, so that got popping in the neighborhood and stuff like that. And then how'd you choose the name Half there, bro?
I mean, I never really chose that name. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of was. I was watching the little Snoop Dogg's Murder Was the Case little documentary movie type video type shit, and you know, he was like, I'm in a 2-man cell with the homie Lil Ab then. You know what I mean? And so for me, like, I'm like, damn, I like that name. You feel me? My older cousin had got killed. Hold on, look. My little man just popped up on me. I guess he want to be a bartender or something. What's going on? Sam said the food. Yeah, the food on his way. I got you. Go on back up top, homie. All right, so my cousin's name was Mike Dixon. He got killed in 1992, which kind of led to me even jumping off the porch and deciding to carry guns, and you know what I mean. Like, this was my big dog. I thought I could fight anybody when he was around, because he had a one-punch hitter quitter, and if they beat me up, he gonna knock their ass out. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, what the fuck did you ask me? You know, I'm old now. I throw it off.
Name Half.
Yeah.
So
okay, yeah, the name. All right, so boom. You know, losing him, I felt like a part of me had died. And a lot of times, you know what I mean, when you lose somebody that type of way, you either going to straighten up or you going to go harder. But me, I started living for the dead and not living for the living, you know what I mean? Like, I wrote his name on all the walls. My mom used to be like, why I don't want to come out the house and see my nephew's name over all the walls. And I didn't know how to get out of that, so I chose the name Half, Dead. But then once again, I found out that dead was a disrespectful term for red. Right? So, you know, my nigga like, bro, you can't have that name, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, so, you know, they start calling me HD in the neighborhood, you feel me? But I made it an acronym. So Half Dead stood for half alive, living fine, dropping these rickets all day. You know what I mean? So I made it to where I could have a name, because my name really is Half Alive.
Right.
I lost my bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it had already started blowing up as Half Dead, so I kind of kept it and stuck with it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
him, bro.
What's up? Y'all food coming, bro? They
So
they
boom.
piling up on me. They keep popping up more and more. You feel me? You know
Yeah,
I got them youngins, baby.
yeah, the youth them, they love it. You got pizza every day.
I got kids with me every day. They mine though. You know what I
That's
mean?
that's good. Then they see you doing your shit. So boom. So you young and thugging and shit like that. So was you in and out of jail before that last time?
For me, you know, jail was never nothing I wanted to do. So I kind of kept a low profile when it came to dealing with the police. You know, I was a straight A student in school,
For
so I
real?
knew how to just do certain shit that would keep the police from fucking with me. Like when the police pull up, everybody else about to take off running, so I would just stand there. You know what I mean? And I'd be dirty as hell, but they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we know they got your shit," so they chasing after them while I just walk off. You know what I mean? So I never really caught no cases. You know what I mean? I
Right.
went to CRC when I was 18 years old. I was in there for like 6 hours. I got a haircut. You know what I mean? I went and got my first number and a haircut, and they dropped me back off because I did most of my time in the county. I have been to a county a lot, a couple of times just for like CCWs. But even back then, I wish I had knew the law on carrying CCWs. Like you just put it, you got if you put the gun in your glove compartment and put the clip in the back, you can
Yeah.
ride with the motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I didn't know that, so I would just put the gun in the glove compartment, fully loaded, and keep it locked. And I would hide the key in my shoe if I got pulled over, or I flick it out the window. So 9 times out of 10, none of the cars that I'm driving went in my name. So they was misdemeanors. I went to jail for mainly misdemeanors, even though I had 5 CCW charges throughout my little, gangbanging days. Um, then another time when I was 18, I went to jail for armed robberies. When we was younger in the neighborhood, we would, a lot of the boys from the neighborhood, we'd go to the surrounding areas and, commit robberies. I got friends that got sentenced to 30 years for robberies. The German Village robbery, 15-year-old little D-Rock, you know what I mean? From
Damn.
Oakwood, OWP, you feel me? So I got charged with a robbery, me and my brother. I took it to trial, and I had 21 counts of armed robbery. I took it to trial and beat it. My brother, I got a hung
Oh,
jury on
21.
one of the charges. My brother, he got all hung juries. So only one person on my hung jury said, "Well, I think he did that." The other 11 was like, "Nah." So they was gonna let me go, but retrial my brother. So the prosecutor came to us and was like, "Look, if he take out on this charge, since he got to go back to trial, and you take out on this one, I give y'all probation and let y'all go." So that's what happened, and that's how I ended up going. I violated the probation because I'm like, nigga, I 21 aggravated robberies was down to a petty theft felony. I was like, I ain't gonna be on no probation for no 5 years. So I went and did the 6 hours and came home. But and that's what I noticed about the court system. They just be wanting to
Let me
get a
ask you.
motherfucker to plead guilty and get that number.
So look, bro, do you think by you beating all them cases like that, the charges that you became a target?
Oh, definitely. You know what I mean? When you go to trial, and then, when it came to going to trial, bro, they hate that because, we got the highest rate of people taking deals. You know what I mean? If everybody took their case to trial, it would literally shut down the system because there's a time frame on when you got to be tried, either
Charge.
let go or convicted. And it's like a 90-day time period. From the time you get
Oh,
arrested,
that process, right?
it's a
That's called.
process. From the time you get arrested, they got 90 days to have you convicted. Now, once you sign that continuance because you're scared, you don't know what to do, you know what I mean? Then now you caught up in the loophole of keep getting continuances. And I learned that from an old head. I was locked up. I actually got a baby by his daughter. One time he put me on the phone and was like, "Here, talk to my daughter while I go use the bathroom, young blood." I bagged her, got out, and knocked her up. But, you know what I mean? The nigga, and I got 2 kids by her. 2 of my older kids are by her. But the nigga told me, the big homie, he was like, like, blood, what you in here for? I said, aggravated robbery. He said, what, you about to go to trial? I mean, he said, no, what, you about to take a deal? And I was like, shit, they talking. He said, I'm gonna tell you what they talking. They said you're looking at anywhere from 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 to 7 to 8 to 9, all the way up to 15 to 25 years in prison if you take this to trial. You know what I mean? Or on a deal. Either way. He was like, well, guess what, young blood? When you go to prison, because you're going to get 10 if you plead guilty to all them charges. He said, if you could do 10, you could do 20, my nigga. You might as well try to take it to trial and have a chance of either beating it or going to prison, even though it's 20 years, but you're going to have appeals processes. There's other ways to get out. He said trials is the hardest thing to prove. So me being as smart as I am, I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to trial. You know what I mean? Like, he said if you plead guilty, you guarantee you're going to prison. If you go to trial, you got a chance to go home. And I'll end up going home. You know what I mean? So from that day forth, every case I ever caught, I took it to trial.
Every case you ever caught, you boxed it up.
I boxed it up. You know what I mean? You know, a lot of motherfuckers might want to be like, oh, how he got out, this and that. Well, years later, when we probably can get to that later, but years later, I went to trial and got found guilty for something that I really didn't do.
Yeah.
But because of the appeals process.
So let's just head in that direction. You talking about when they came and swooped you up for the mailman shit, right?
Yeah, for sure. You know what I mean? You know, they wanted me so bad off the streets based off of my gang activity, which I really don't like speaking too much about gang activity because it kind of glorifies it. You know, a lot of us, we watch, like, let's say American Gangster, we'll watch that, and they'll tell us about all of the hardships that was going on during that time while this man was getting that money. You know what I mean? But we'll focus on the fact of how he was getting the money and everything, and even miss the fact that most of the people on American Gangster, their life didn't end well. They didn't have no successful people on that BET show, American Gangster. They were successful during their run, but at the end of it, they either ended up being crackheads or incarcerated for the rest of their life or snitches. You know what I mean? To where, you know, but we took the lifestyle that they had and not listening to the fact they got entrapped by the police or all of these different things. So we glorify, we take the negative and we try to be that negative instead of hearing the positive in it. So I really don't like glorifying gangs. But they wanted me off the streets when it came to the mailman shit based off of my name was involved with everything. It was ringing. You know what I mean? The police had never even knew what my gang name.
I said your ass was hot, huh?
Yeah, I was on fire. You know what I mean? The police would have never knew my gang name though, had I not went to this community meeting with the Muslims. They had called for all. How y'all doing? How can I help y'all? Give me 1 second. No pizza today. No, the pizza. We don't start that till about 6. My first shift dude was a little sick today.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Let me get let me get Knob Creek.
You want a Knob Creek?
Yeah, on the rocks.
All right, I got you.
The ride.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Give me a check.
My name is Half. She said, you look so familiar. One of my customers. Put a bunch in there.
I appreciate the time out of the schedule to do this.
What you say, bro? What's Knob Creek?
Pay attention to the story, too. This is exclusive. He ain't never really had this talk that we having. So we're going to get to the gist of it all because...
Oh, you know what? Hold on 1 second. I just realized something. I got a bartender sitting right here.
Oh, what's up?
Gigi sitting right here. And I got some customers that just walk in, but I'm doing this interview. Gigi, can you help me out? Thank you.
Is the patio open?
Yeah, you can go back there after she make your drinks. And I'll show you how to work the cash register. So now, my problem is solved on the interruptions.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
All right, so, yeah, they wanted me off the streets. And one time I had the Muslims, the Nation of Islam, had called for they called us street organizations. They didn't call us gangs. And I was like 19 years old. I had just beat the little, beat the one little robbery trial. And I went to this thing that was like, we need all street organizations to come in. You know, the police look at y'all as gangs, but we're going to show y'all how to get built up and buy y'all communities and own the corner stores. And, you know, me, I'm, like I said, I'm smart. Although I was gangbanging, I still had a presence of the knowledge of what blacks go through and what we need to do. So to hear them say that they was going to organize my gang, I went. You know what I mean? It was at East High School. Minister Farrakhan was on the big screen, and he was talking directly to us in the crowd. You feel me? So they asked for me to come up there. They like, yeah, can we have somebody from the 22nd Street organization come up here and speak on behalf of y'all members? So I got up there. You know, I'm like, listen, man. You know, I know a lot of y'all in here. Y'all look at us like we the killers in the neighborhood. We the drug dealers. But at the end of the day, we are the warriors in this neighborhood, and we protect this neighborhood. We don't have no killings in this neighborhood. You know what I mean? We keep outside people from out of our neighborhood. But on top of that, the thing that we're missing our village. And it takes a village to raise a child. So here, some of y'all are the elders. You know what I mean? Most of our dads haven't been in our life to where our father figures is the police. They the only one punishing us for what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, boom. So, you know, we need this. So, you know, anyway, long story short, the way the police found out about me because of that, well, my homie from, his name is Tobias. He was a writer at the Calling Post. I walked in the Oakwood store, you know, and this is where it goes down, Oakwood and Whittier, at this store where we're allowed to do certain things, you know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. They fuck with us. And my first car I drove came from the owner of that store. So they really fuck with us, the Arabs do. But boom, I walk in there, he like, what up, half? You know what I mean? Like, I see you in the paper, nigga. I said, what? He like, yeah, say gang leader half dead. Spoke at the, I said, what? So I grabbed a newspaper. I grabbed all of them off the shelf, the Calling Post paper, like, give me this shit. So I called the Calling Post. I'm like, hey, my man, you need to take that name out that paper. You know what I mean? Like, the police don't know that name. You know what I mean? That name is mysterious out here. You feel me? So boom. He like, well, what you want me to do? Go to all the stores and put it off the shelf? It's out now. You know what I mean? So I was like, hell yeah. You know what I mean? Like, go get that shit. You feel me? Like, I can't do that. But what I can do is write another story on it. So me and him, we linked up, and he came to my house, which later on, when I got exonerated, and they was like, gang leader seeks redemption. Well, that picture that he used in that Calling Post was from when I was 19, and he came to redo the interview, but he never used it. And then, you know, as my life, this is how people come into your life. God sets people into your life, and it helps to change your life. Because when that man came to redo the interview, he asked me a couple questions. He said, you know, what do you plan on doing in the next 5 years? And at the time, my baby mom, she was pregnant with my daughter, Infinity. And I'm like, well, shit, take care of my kids. And he like, okay, so do you have a plan in order to do that? And I'm like, shit, I'm out here hustling. You know what I mean? Like, I get money every day. Like, shit, we good. He like, all right, so do you believe in God? And I was like, yeah. He's like, do you know him? So I was like, shit, I ain't never seen him. You know what I mean? But I believe there's something out there that, you know, this is how I was raised, so I got to believe in him. But nah, I don't know him personally because I ain't never seen him. Right. So anyway, as you know, me and him, we kept rocking for years and years and years. And he took me to different type of Indian reservations for Bible study out of town. First time I ever left the hood, this nigga then took me to New Mexico to an Indian reservation for Bible study. As soon as we get,
how was that?
I mean, it was a different experience because for me, I ain't never left the neighborhood, and now I'm on a fucking reservation with real Indians. And it kind of killed the myth for me because you would think they live in huts at the time, and you know what I mean? Like, no, they live in houses and they have farmland and shit like that, but you know, they was regular people, so it killed that stereotype that I might have had for them. But another time he took me to Atlanta, and it was a impact mission. And they took us out to the neighborhood. The pastor, he told us, he said, look, I'm going to take y'all to this one neighborhood. And they, you know, everybody targets this neighborhood. It's the cheapest, poorest neighborhood. You hear me? He said, I'm gonna take y'all there, and they used to people coming with gifts and turkeys, and he said only thing we coming with is this booklet, and it had 4 little values in it, and it was pretty much showing you how, you know, right now I'm sitting on this chair at my bar, and I sit on this chair as if it's my throne, but I got this circle around me, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But inside this circle, it got all of these things that's not of me, like the fucked up shit going on in my life, the whatever, the baby mama drama, the police, boom, boom. And and when you get to the last page of the booklet, it has Jesus sitting on the throne and you sitting on the floor at his knees, kneel down by him, right? So he like, this the only thing we taking out there. So when we get out there, all these, you know, this the hood in Atlanta. I'm like, oh shit, I ain't never been to the A, but I'm like, shit, go talk to them, go talk to them, go talk to them. And the motherfucking other kids, you know, they was real church kids. They like, man, we ain't going over there. You know, me, I walked straight up over there and was able to communicate with them because I come from the streets. Because as soon as we get back from the A, I didn't hear my gun outside his house. I'm back out here. But it's those type of things and me taking that time out that has allowed me still to, you know, flourish and be alive. And God has been able to, you know, protect me because I did take time out to get to know him in spite of, you know, a lot of these kids, they like, I don't believe in God. I don't got no OGs. You know what I mean? Like they just so far away from having some type of structure in their lives. You know what I mean? So
Shit was really important for your life then. That was really important for your life.
oh yeah, it definitely was. And a lot, like I said, a lot of people that came into my life and then did something that then helped me in my life, like from the dude in jail who got his daughter pregnant. If I never would have listened to him, I'd probably still be in jail, even from way back then. You know what I mean?
Damn,
A
for
lot
real.
of you know, I got a lot of homies that went to jail and ain't never came back then when I was 18, 19 years old. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Like, so,
So
listen,
people,
while we track, right? The
what up,
police,
bro?
they lock you up for something you didn't do. So the mailman thing, you took that to trial and lost?
Yeah, I took that to trial, and I was under the same judge
Mm,
from my first trial. You
mm.
feel me? When I got on the stands and looked like I was like, I'm a straight A student, boom, 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 you know, and boom, I got found guilty. I got found guilty by Dave DeVillers. And for y'all that don't know who Dave DeVillers is, Biden just fired, the president of Biden just fired him from being the, what is it called? The attorney general, the district attorney general over the southern states of the United States. Trump hired him. This is the same person that took me to trial, took all of the known figures, Papa Joe, Dawson, Marvell Dixon. He took all of us, the known gang members in the city or drug dealers or killers or whatever you want to call them, to trial. He also sat on for the United States government. He
Damn,
also,
that's who prosecuted Marvell?
yeah, he prosecuted Marvell way back then, 25 years ago. You hear me? And
He's
this,
still
what up,
locked up?
bro? Oh, hold on. Hey, y'all. Oh, yeah, I do graduation banners too. So check this out, little homie. This for you. Little homie just graduated. I made him a banner. We're gonna shout him out. I'm on a radio station in Atlanta right now, live. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna show you some love. Here, pour that out and hold that up.
Hey, throw them hearts up, man. Throw them
Congratulations
hearts.
to Raekwon Williams McGee.
Let him
He on
see that.
his way to Tiffin.
Proud
He
of
going
him.
to college. You know what I mean? He one of the Pickerington North superstars. You feel
Yeah.
me? Hey, yes, and that's what it's about, man. You know, I put together, not to get off the subject, but I really don't like talking too much about the jail shit. But people need to know, you know what I'm
We,
saying?
hey, bro, hey, we getting past that. We almost through, brother. You hear me? But it's
You feel me?
a story. And it's part of the conversation and it's exclusive and they gonna know it. You hear me?
Yeah,
It's,
yeah, for
it's
sure. No, I mean,
so
anyway, with Dave DeVillers and shit, right? He said on Saddam Hussein, he the one had them throw that man in the river once they said he was getting executed. This the same prosecutor. A lot of people don't know this though, you feel me? But I
damn.
know all about him, you feel me? Like, and I'm not the only one that he didn't got locked up for something that we didn't do. You know what I mean? Like, he based his whole career, and that's what the police do, the judges, the prosecutors. They make their lives successful off of the backs of us out here in the neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what a lot of us don't know. Like, when I first started to change my life around after getting that case overturned, bro, I got taken to City Hall. I've never been in City Hall in my life before this.
All right, so look, real quick. Who was one of the first people, bro, that told you to change it around and go the way you going now, bro? This is a shameless plug.
You talking about the story between me and you?
Yeah.
Okay, listen. So I'm out and about and shit, right? Braze that just came on from penitentiary out of town in like West Virginia or some shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I really didn't know Braze. But a lot of little homies in the neighborhood, they came up underneath me. They would come and acknowledge me and show me some love. Like, yeah, I've been in blood because of you, big dog. You know what I mean? Like this, that, you feel me? So Braze, he approached me and he like, man, like, what's up, Half? And I'm like, what's up? He like, man, listen, man, I believe one of my mentors had came to the penitentiary and had spoke about my life and the changes that I was making in my life. And Braze came to me and was like, look, man, like, man, I respect everything you doing, man. I was locked up in West V and a nigga came down there talking about you, said what you was out here doing, man. I want to be a part of that, man. He said, man, I don't give a fuck what it is I got to do. He said, I will open up your car door for you every day to make sure you stay on that path that you on. And I'm looking at him like, homie, that's a little extreme. You ain't got to open up no car doors. He like, but I will. But I need you to stay on that path. You know what I mean? And then even later on in life, as me and Braze grew a lot together during this journey. One day, I'll be in the after hours. This is how I make my money, take care of my kids. But I also be doing the work while I'm there. But, one day Braze pulled up on a motorcycle. I'm like, damn, this nigga driving motorcycles and shit now. Look at this nigga. You know what I mean? Boom. He pull up on a bike and he like, man, what is you doing, Half? And I'm like, what you talking about? Was this after I got shot in the head at the candlelight, right?
Something like that, around that time.
Yeah, you feel me? It could have been right before. It could have been right before.
You're a martyr. I said, I don't want you to be no martyr.
He said, I don't want you to be no martyr. And I'm looking at him like, what the fuck is that? You know what I mean? Because even though I do this work, I don't know all the terminology. I'm smart. I know a lot of shit, but I'm like, a martyr? Like, all right. He like, I said, what is that? He like, that's somebody who the work doesn't work until after they're dead. You know what I mean? Like their name and their ways of life. Like Martin Luther King, we could consider him a martyr for our people. And he's telling me, like, I want you to still be alive and enjoy the fruits of what you've been doing out here, the seeds you've been planting. And that's how God works, because he continued to bring people into our lives that help uplift us. Sometimes I get a motherfucker who might be like, yeah, homie, I respect what you're doing. You know what I mean? But they don't have the realness in their heart when they say it. But I'm smart enough to judge the difference between the two. With you, I knew it was genuine, because out the gate, you the first motherfucker that said, I'll open your car door for you. And I don't want nobody opening up my car door for me, But at the time I didn't. But now, I get this money right. I'm on the chauffeur and every goddamn thing. You feel me?
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't knock my passion for jumping out of his nice car, goddammit. He earning it. You know what I mean? He leading people the right way.
So what was the first steps you took as you started becoming the community leader that you are? Like, what was the first things you had to do to shed your former image to the image you got now to this day?
It wasn't an easy process, but what made me even decide to do it is because when I came home, it was like a lot of the homies was like, oh shit, we've been waiting for you, and nigga, I got sentenced to 24 years. How was you waiting for me? You know what I mean? You're supposed to be moving forward and doing what you got to do. Then on the gangbanger side, shit was different, because before I left in the neighborhood was all one. You know what I mean? We all had love no matter what street you represented. You know what I mean? Up north, on the north side, they didn't really get it. Always been, this street, the number streets beefing with the number streets, the short north beefing with the terrorists, whether they was all Crips or whatever, that's what was common. Well, now in our neighborhood, when I come home, it's kind of like the same thing. You know what I mean? So anyway, my mentor, Brother Cecil, a lot of y'all probably know him. You know what I mean? Good man from the South Side. He was walking down the street along with a couple of the Muslim brothers that I went and spoke in front of, who I tried to reach out to for a character witness at my trial, but they didn't come. You know what I mean? So I ended up getting found guilty. But now that I see them walking down the street, they handed out a pamphlet that says, "Stop the violence, stop the killings." So I walked down there with them, started passing it out, reading it, and I'm thinking to myself, like, these niggas ain't stand up for me last time, but shit, let me go ahead and rock with them this time a little closer, so when they come back to lock me up again, now they'll come and speak for me. And so really,
Hey, so you felt when you got out that they was still fucking with you and they was gonna come back for you?
I felt like if I'm gonna be out here in these motherfucking streets on some Uncle Junior shit, I need motherfuckers that could come and stand up and speak for me if I ever get caught up. Because a lot of times when we go to trial, we don't have nobody in the courtroom except for our mama. Our cousins don't come, and that affects the jury's decision. It's hard for the jury to convict a nigga with 15 kids sitting on the front row, babies, and sisters, and a family that love them. But when you go by yourself, you on your own. So now I'm like, when I joined up with them, my intentions really wasn't to really be a real community activist. My intentions was to be like Uncle Junior and be like, shit, motherfuckers think I'm doing this while I'm really doing this.
Got you.
But recognizing that, and it wasn't easy for me to open up to these grown men because I didn't really have a father figure in my life like that on a consistent basis. So to actually have to talk to a grown man about what I'm going through out here, because the police was on my ass heavy. Officer Batman, he would suit up in front of my house, in front of my business, everything, and be like, you going back to jail, we just waiting for you to slip up. You know what I mean? So when I got to telling them, and they talking about stopping the violence, I'm like, well, shit, I started the game on 22nd and Livingston. They look like what? Like, we got the person to do it right here. But guess what? The powers that be. So now I'm on the radio, Power 107, on Street Soldiers with the same man that came and talked to you.
Shout out to Walter Smith.
Shout out to Walter Smith. Bro, guess what happened?
What happened?
Mayor Coleman contacted him directly and told him, I'm shutting that show down if you don't get him off of there.
Are you serious, bro?
Hey, he said, I'm shutting that show down if you don't get him off the air. And Walter like, well, he's making changes. He was wrongfully convicted just like me, but he's also the voice of the streets. He's directly connected to the gangs, and when he gets on here, we getting responses. They're listening, and so Walter called me in the office one day to his house. He said, I can't have you on the show no more each week. I'm like, all right, why? What's wrong? He like, he kept it real. He said, the mayor and them called me, told me that, they'll cancel my show if you're on there. He said, but at the end of the day, my brother, I support you. You just got to continue to do the work. You know what I mean? Don't let that deteriorate you. And, because right now they feel like you're still in the streets, you're still under investigation. You know what I mean? Boom, boom, boom. So I was like, all right, that's cool. And I started what you say?
They ended up getting Walter's ass up out of there.
They end up getting him up out of there anyway. You know what I mean? That was my man. But so anyway, my changes started to come as I'm doing this work because I'm realizing like, damn, the love that I'm getting by doing it, I always had a loving spirit. If I did something to you in the past, you was planning on doing something to me. That's it. I ain't come looking for niggas or nothing. You know what I mean? We just protected our neighborhood. However, you know what I mean? So I didn't base my lifestyle off fear, even though people feared me. So now that I'm getting this love, and the homies, they like, damn, homie, what is you doing? This and that. So it wasn't an easy transition because I'm still representing who I am, where I'm from, but I'm just not gangbanging. I'm not selling no drugs. And I'm just trying to, bye, baby. I'm just trying to uplift the community. You feel me? You know what I mean? So boom, I'm trying to get there. I'm going down this path and I'm getting, my homies, they like, damn, what about your pride? Like, niggas is looking at you like you scared to go back to jail now. And I'm looking at them like, these niggas ain't did. You could put 30 niggas in one room from this neighborhood, and they ain't did half the shit I done did all together. So I don't care about that. What I care about, what made me started to really want to change was I was really helping save people's lives instead of destroying them and tearing them down.
And you was going to different churches.
You feel me? Like, the love was bigger than me having to worry about these 10 niggas that I grew up with. And my close friends, they didn't knock it. So don't get it twisted, but just other people that's from the community, they like, oh, this nigga is scared, this nigga's a snitch, this nigga that. Nigga, I never told on nobody in my life. You know what I mean? I don't condone that. You know what I mean? If you wrong, you wrong. If you did something, I shouldn't have to go to penitentiary for it. You should be a man and step up and take out. But, you know, I'm the type of nigga, I'm going to fight it out and hopefully everything go my way, but look out for me. You know what I mean? If it don't. You know what I mean? But I don't condone no type of snitching. And just to get, not to get off the subject, snitching is when me and you go commit a crime together and I tell on you or you tell on me. We went to do this together. I was a part of that crime. Snitching is not when my brother got killed and you ain't got nothing to do with no gangster shit or nothing, and you was standing right there and you seen the shit. That's called witnessing. You know what I mean? The Bible tells us we are witnesses. You know what I'm saying? And if somebody chose to do some dumbass shit in front of you, and I don't tell a motherfucker go tell the police. Like when my sons got killed, I didn't say go tell the police. If you know who did it, come and tell me. Don't be around me and hugging on me and telling me you sorry and at the same time you know exactly what happened. I'm not gonna go tell them you told me. I mean, I'm gonna deal with it how I gotta deal with it, but to keep that fake love away from my family. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, like I was trying to say, a witness is if an old lady, you can't look at her like she a snitch because she told that you did some dumb shit in front of her yard. Now she ain't got nothing to do with that lifestyle. The snitch is the nigga that you get locked up with that's telling them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So not to even get on it, go ahead, do what you need, bro. Not to even go into all of that like that, but on some real shit, as I changed my life, what made me stay focused and really do it was the fact that the love was greater than the hate. And that's what I want to really say before we get out of here, bro. The problem with us is this, man. You know what I mean? Like, as far as my message has been stop the killing, stop the killings. But now it's about stopping the hate. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta stop hating yourself. A lot of people is hating themselves right now. You feel me?
Real quick, let me stop you real quick, because like it seemed like some self-love kicked in. When did that self-love kick in with you to make you want to do more self-preservation?
When I realized all the shit that I was going through and living, I couldn't blame nobody but myself.
Mm.
You
So
know
you
what I mean?
the weapon formed against your damn self.
I couldn't blame nobody but myself. It was me versus me the whole time. I'm thinking like, oh shit, I gotta go out here and gangbang. I gotta go out here and do this. I gotta go out here and do that. And I was killing myself the whole time. My blessings for me in life could have been, because I was a straight A student all the way up till 12th grade. I dropped out, got locked up, took the proficiency test. I took the GED, got that shit in the first try, higher than damn near everybody I know ever took it. But boom. But for me, it was like, this shit right here, like I'm in jail, these niggas, I gotta be cool with the Crips now, because I'm from Columbus. These the niggas that were trying to kill me and beef with me, like but I gotta be cool with them because we got down deal with Cleveland niggas, and people was accepting these type of values, and this how it go. Now that's not how it go, my nigga. You know what I mean? Like, this shit ain't real. I gotta find something that's real to me. That shit was no longer real to me. You know what I mean? Like that type of lifestyle on top of I'm actually saving people's lives. I'm really, you know, even though a lot of times the same people still end up getting caught up in the same mistakes because they don't get it all the time. But I got a homie here with me. My nigga Mercedes, he been through it. He been riding the course same way you came to me. He ain't asked to open up no car doors, but he did, you know what I mean, step up and try to learn what we doing when it comes to changing it. And we have his up and downs, but he still continue to get back up and get back to the course. And it's not gonna happen overnight, you know what I'm saying? It didn't for me. But what I wanna say is, man, listen, to start to love yourself, the easiest way to do it is think like this. And I seen this on one of my partners' posts. It said, be the person that they talking about and not the person that doing the talking. So if you set your standards on being the one that everybody got something to say about, and if all y'all did that, then now we ain't talking about nobody. And we living good, and you know what I mean? So much money out here, man, regardless of how you getting it, illegally, fraud, whatever. You're touching so much money that I bought this business right here for $30,000. and it was on down payments, to be truthfully. You hear me like boom, boom, boom. But here I am, I got a business. They actually handed people 30, 40, 100 bands right now, and they just out just blowing it. If it's 10 of y'all in one crew that just got 100, if all y'all got 10,000, y'all just got 100, man, invest that shit. Make some money, make it grow for your family. The chains and all that, that's cool. It'll come later on in life. You know what I mean? But it's time for us to come together, man, and really start to put the shit in the pot. If you see me out in the community, I have no hatred toward nobody. I'm not setting nobody up. I'm not disrespecting nobody. I love everybody in my neighborhood and
Hey,
outside my neighborhood.
let me ask you this, Hap, because when these kids and stuff pass away or it be these senseless killings, you make it your business to show up to these family members' houses if you know them or not. How hard do that weigh on your soul and your spirit and shit like that? Because that's got to be hard.
I mean, man, this year alone, I done made 30 cutouts, more than 30. And it's what, April? You know what I mean? Cutouts are life-size pictures of people that passed away. For me, it's like I'm a sponge and I soak it all up, but everybody has their breaking point. I just haven't had mine.
Impact. That's called being an impact.
Yeah, I just haven't had my breaking point, and I hope that my breaking point don't come from a negative situation as far as something happening to one of my children. My son just got shot the other day at the little shit downtown. You feel me? Like, you know, he could have lost his life. I heard a 15-year-old girl did. You know what I mean? Like, it's shit like that really, like, could really have me make my breaking point. But I feel like that God's put something in me to do, and I got to stay the course. So when it comes to me approaching these families, well, that was a way for me to also be able to go into neighborhoods that I normally wouldn't just go in. You know what I mean? So when I bought this machine, by the way, my company name is Show Me a Sign Media. I chose that name because I was asking God to show me a sign. But I've been seeing signs all my life, gangbanging signs, signs of this, signs of that. Everything has a sign on it. You feel me? Even a business without a sign is a sign of no business. You know what I'm saying? But no, for real, that's my quick plug. But check this shit out though. So I'm the first one who really set up the candlelights for the deaths in the neighborhood. When my nigga Scan died, I went out there, put the picture out there, put the candles. We had a march for it. The police hated it. They didn't respect it. But so I realized, like, us in the streets, we are warriors. We are soldiers. We are really in the line of fire. You hear me? And like I told my son, like, bro, you got to go sit down. You just got shot. You got to go sit down. My grandfather used to come take me out of town when I got shot because he said, you got to heal up. You can't be out there in the street. You got the boys in blue after you and the boys in blue, the cops and the Crips. And you shot, ain't no reason for you to be standing on the corner of 22nd and Livingston. Come down to my house, heal up. So for me, I look at us like we warriors. So in order to get into these other neighborhoods and be accepted, when if a soldier die in war, they come with the flag and they bring it to their mama's house and they bring them their medal or whatever. You you lost a family member. Well, for me, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make this banner a flag. I'm gonna come with a RP banner, a memorial banner, and I'm gonna give it to little homie that lost his life from Windsor terrorists. I'm walking straight in the funeral with a picture of him. I didn't do that to make money to sell them. I did that to build connections in my communities to be able to walk through and be able to have these conversations that was needed. Because when you go to funerals, the only motherfuckers sitting in there is the women and the children. All of the gangsters, the brothers, they all outside, smoking, drinking. They're not getting that message. But when they see me walk in there, now they like, what the fuck this nigga going in there for? But then they see their little homie with me, so they walking in with us now. Now I got them back in the church. Now I get to grab a microphone and put a message on them. But, at times, that was how I was able to make my transition successful. Do I worry about somebody walking up and shooting me? That shit happens every day, man. So I don't. You know what I mean? I'm not afraid of that.
You don't live in fear though when you covered in that blood though. That red.
I have no fear, man. I have no fear. How my nigga Pac said, nigga, I have no fear, nigga. You know what I mean? And it ain't because I got a gun, I'm gonna shoot you or nothing. I can't stop myself from going. I ain't been reading no comments. People talking.
You want to go through the comments quick because we got to do the other hour. But check it out. I'm gonna read some of these comments to you, bro. All right, look. Somebody said, Somebody said the babies out here need you. Amber RN said our babies need you. This dude said Miss Rags or Riches. She said I like the board too, having the games are dope and the food slap. Somebody said talk to him, bro. They were saying street justice is for the real. Let me see. Shakira said self-love. It's like somebody said they proud of you. That change that you made, that's G shit. Yeah, somebody threw the hearts up for Mercedes. It's going down in here, bro.
No, that's love. And I know your show is only an hour, so we definitely could come back with a part two another time.
You got 2 hours though. This is a state of emergency. I
Oh,
got
he
you as
said,
long as I can have you.
all right, well, let's rock then. You hear me?
And if nobody can really talk and get anybody's fucking attention right now, it's me and you, bro. You feel me?
No, you right. You right.
You know?
You know what I mean?
Because there's so much to talk about. You're responsible for like the urban comedy movement, even. Tell the people, bro. They don't even know the significant role that you play in Braze Day with the comedy. Or none of that.
Oh, so you already know, Braze. We got so much history together. You feel me? Like, and when it comes to the comedy, I you know, I didn't never know you was this funny. You feel me? Like, but anyway, you know, I got some partners. Since this is about entertainment, really, as far as this show, and I know we kicking it on a whole nother level. But when it comes to Braze and his comedy, you know, we put together a show called The Laugh Blast, and Braze wanted to shot at hosting it, and he killed it for a couple seasons. It was on our patio, on the backyard. I built that same patio back here. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost a split image of the patio that, you know, Braze started on with his comedy. He turned out to be really funny. You know what I mean? The thing that stuck with me when that nigga was like, y'all should have never gave these niggas no wood. How the fuck you turn this motherfucking camera around there? So this is my patio out here. Remember the bungalows?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The bar, same bar. You look like I just picked it up and carried it over here.
Is that what you did?
Nah, Diamond came over and built all this stuff from scratch. These the tables from out there and everything. Same chairs for years. You know what I mean? So this place in it. And so that's why, remember the balcony? I got the balcony for you to launch off of whenever you're ready to come back home, baby.
Yeah.
And do me a laugh blast right here on the patio featuring Braze Day.
What I'm about to do, I'm about to stop this live so I can tape it. I'm about to go live right back. So just join this one. I'm about to stop this one to come right back on, okay?
All right, I got you, bro.